Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Liana Grace. In today's video, we are here with a how-to, a little bit of my technique and my tips and tricks on how to blend your eyeshadow. This is I want to put this down here in the atmosphere. This is by far no way the standard, you must do this. This is just what I do to blend my eyeshadows, and hopefully it helps somebody who wants to get better at makeup or blending eyeshadow. If not, I still think it's a fun video and you should watch it, and you should comment and tell me what else you would like to see, and you should like the video, and you should subscribe to my channel and become a part of the family, all that good stuff. But if you're interested in seeing this icy frosty winter theme, I'm doing a lot of this, right? Talking a lot with my hands, can't help it. But if you're interested in seeing how I did this look, how I blended my eyeshadow, a detailed description, then stay tuned for the rest of the video. Okay guys, so because today's video is mainly about blending eyeshadow, I did go ahead and just complete my face already, so I did do everything so that I can just focus on the blending for today. I'm excited about this video. So the two palettes that I am going to be using today is my Morphe. I think this is the 35V palette. Yeah, oh, it's right here. I'm looking right at it. Yeah, so I'm going to be using the Morphe 35V palette, see right there. And also my fan favorite, I'm also going to be using the James Charles palette. This is kind of like a winter theme video or eyeshadow look. So both of these have very pretty blues, and I couldn't choose between one, so I'm going to use both of them. So, to start blending, a lot of people make it seem like it's the tools. I don't feel like it's always the tools. I feel like it is 10% prep, 10% tools, and 80% technique, honestly. You don't have to buy expensive brushes to have like really nice eyeshadow looks. So when I do my eyeshadow, I always start off with priming my eye. I usually use a matte concealer, and I just put it on my lid. I let it dry down a little bit, and I blend it out. And then I go over it and I set it with powder to the point where it's not sticky. I don't put too much powder on it, because if you put too much powder on it, then the eyeshadows won't stick to your lid if it's too much powder. But if you have like too little powder, it'll get sticky and your eyeshadow be cakey. So you have to like find like the perfect amount. But I always start with a little bit, and then like you can build up if you need more. Okay, so I am going to be priming my lids with the e.l.f. Camo 16 Hour Pro Camo Concealer. This is the color Deep Chestnut. I think it's funny that it's Deep Chestnut because it's really light, but you know. So next I am going to go in with my Becca Cosmetics Hydra Mist Retouch Setting Powder. This is in the color Golden Bronze. This setting powder is like super light. It's just like not overbearing. And like I said, you want to just start off with a little bit of powder. There's not a lot of powder on my beauty sponge. I just want enough, just like I said, just to set the under eye. I mean, not the under eye, the eyelid, y'all. Pray for me. I always start with a little bit. A little goes a long way. And like you're gonna see throughout this video that like blending and eyeshadow is all about like patience. So first thing when starting with the eyeshadows, I always, I don't care if I'm doing neutrals, I don't care if I'm doing hot pink, blue, it doesn't matter. Always start with a transition shade. The transition shade is really just the base of everything. It helps it really helps all the colors blend together. I usually do like a color that's like either right at my skin tone or a little bit lighter. This way you do have like that kind of ombre look when you see like it going towards the top of your brow. It doesn't look like you have eyeshadows and they just cut off. So the transition shade that I am going to be using is this shade right here. It is, if you look at me, it is a lot lighter than my skin tone, but when I put concealer on my eyes, because my concealer is a little bit lighter, it really you know, it matches perfectly. I got this, y'all. So the first thing that I like to do when I do take up product on my brush, I do take up pretty much a lot of product. Well, not a lot, but this is the only shade that like I put more shadow on. But a lot of people like tap, a lot of people like, I don't know, everybody has their own thing. I like to blow on my brush. You'll always see me doing this. That's just for me to get all the excess like powder off. That way you don't get like a lot of fallout, because I hate a lot of fallout because it messes up this flawless face that you have. So I may blow it a few times. And then I am going to start. Now, I do have hooded eyes, so I do a little bit more manipulation. I would say, like, if you don't have hooded eyes, you start in the crease. I start where I want my make-believe creases, because I, like, try to make my eyes look larger than what they are. So I start with the crease. And one of like the biggest things that I know is like really small, but it's very important, is I always raise my brow and kind of look down. That way, like, my eye isn't like creasing. Like, you see how you have these lines right here, these creases right here. I try to like make sure that I'm getting in those creases, so I raise my brow and look down. So I start in my make-believe crease area, and I just, do windshield wiper motions in that area. Once I feel like I have gotten the majority of the product off of my brush, I start to bring it up towards my brow. I don't want to put like a lot of product in there, but like once it seems like there is not much shadow on my brush left, I bring it up. As you can see, it doesn't look like much, right? It doesn't look like I really put anything in there, but it kind of like my eyelids now match with the rest of my face. That's the goal right there when you do a transition shade. I am going to go back in with that same color. I am just going to slightly tap into my shadow, blow off the excess, and then do the same technique. Start like right here in your crease or your make-believe crease. Make sure you do a lot of the windshield wiper motions. Get most of the product in that area. And then once the product is like mainly off, then you can start to blend it and bring it up into your lid, your brow. Next, with that same fluffy blending brush, I am going to take kind of a mixture of this reddish brown and this reddish brown. I like them both, so I get a nice little mixture. And as you can see, when I'm putting my brush into the shadows, I don't really like dig in and swipe. I just kind of like tap my brush into the shadows. And of course, blow off the excess so you don't have fallout. With this brush, you are in this color, we're gonna do the same thing we did with the transition shade. You want to start in that crease area, and you want, I normally all the darker colors, I kind of want to concentrate them more towards the end. I don't like to bring dark colors to the center of my eye because it makes your eyes look smaller, and my eyes are already small, so we don't want to do that. I want my eyes to look open and awake and, you know, wide. So just start right here. I kind of dig in to the outer area, and then I start windshield wiping and bringing it all the way across. And like I said with the other one, once you feel like there's not much shadow left on there and you don't have a lot of product left, you can even like wipe it on your paper towel. Then you can start blending it up. The trick to this is that each time you start to bring shadows up, you want it just like a millimeter under where you brought the other shadow. So like if I brought that transition shade all the way up to my brow, I want to keep this darker brown slightly under that, so it kind of, you know, it's like levels. It's like an ombre. You feel me? Okay. These are like my two go-tos for any kind of shadow look that I want to do. Always having a nice little like brown halo around it. I don't know, it just looks very well to me. It makes like your shadow look seamless. So this is like these two sets of colors is something that I will use with almost every single eyeshadow look that I do. Now that I am going in with, well, now I'm going to go in with my blue shades. Now, what you always want to do is you always want to build up. So with that, I use a lot of colors that you probably don't initially see when you're looking at the eyeshadow look, but it like really matters. If I'm going to use a darker color, I always start with the lighter version of that darker color, and then you just build up, and like little by little by little you build the color, you deepen the color. You never just start with the darkest color and think that you're gonna make it like seamless, because it don't work like that. Like I said, it's levels to this. So I am going to start with this kind of light, it's not, yeah, it's kind of like a sky blue. I don't know, it's like a royal blue. I don't know what kind of blue this is. But I am going to take like a flat, it's fluffy, but it's like flatter, if that makes sense. It's like flat and fluffy. I don't know. But I am going to go in with this blue color. This is not a color that you're really going to see at the end, but it does help deepen the darker blues that I'm going to use. So I'm going to start with that. Always just lightly put just a little bit of product on your brush. Blow off the excess. I may even tap it one good time on the paper towel because you don't want too much. And then I start right there in that crease area. And I am going to do windshield wiper motions, But this one I'm not going to really bring up. I just kind of want to leave it right there at my little fake crease area and just blend that in. And as you can see, it's just slightly a little bit. You can barely see it, but it's levels to this, okay? It's levels. I'm gonna go back in with that light blue color one more time, but this time I am going to not bring it into the inner corner. I am just going to pack it in right here and kind of do windshield wipers, but kind of stop right before you get to the inner corner. So I'll stop right here. Like I said, I don't like to really concentrate darker colors into the inner corner of my eye because it does like make your eyes small. So I am going to leave that for my little icy color, and that way it makes it easier for it to like show up because it's not going to be on top of a lot of blues. Okay, now with the same brush, I am going to go into the darker version of that blue color. So this deep royal blue color right here. And I am going to deepen that outer corner. Now, I just tap my brush into there, blow it, tap it, you know, all that good stuff. And I am really just going to concentrate this. I'm just going to tap it in to that outer corner. And I really want to tap the majority of the eyeshadow onto that outer corner. And then you can just slightly swipe that shadow in. Now with a kind of, it's a smaller blending brush, I am going to go in with this black. Now, you literally want little to no product on here. We are not doing a black smoky eye, so you don't want to put too much black on here. What you want to do is just, you see this? That's it. That's all I want to put on there. It's not even really enough to blow, but I'm going to blow just because it's like habit. And you want to start, like when you're working with black, this is really like, you got to be buildable because you can go so bad with black and it's so hard to come back. Like, it's really hard. So, I'm just going to tap that black in to the outer corner of my eye. And like you can barely see it, but it does make that blue look more like a navy blue than like a dark blue. I mean, than a royal blue. Yeah. I'm going to go back in one more time with the black, and I am just going to just a little bit, blow it off and just tap. We're not going to swipe. We're not windshield wiping. We just slightly tapping that black into the area that we want it to be in. Now, in my Morphe 35V palette, I am going to be using this really pretty royal blue shimmer color. For this, when you're adding, well, when I add shimmers, especially if I'm just doing it to like the lid, I always use a flat brush, and I always take some setting spray and I wet my brush a little bit. I feel like shimmers just show up so much better with a wet brush. They just look like velvet, you know, on your eyes, I guess. Y'all feel me? Okay. So I am going to just, I got a little bit on there. And I do kind of like scrape it off. You can't really like blow this because it's wet. But I kind of like rub off the excess on the ends. And I'm just going to slowly swipe it in the middle where I want it to be. See how pretty that shimmer shows up? And I do, once I've gotten like majority of the product off, I do want to just bring it in more with the matte shadows just to help it blend a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with my finger and rub that shadow on my finger and just kind of like tap it a little bit. Now, with another flat brush, I am going to go in with this, wet my brush, of course. But I'm going to go in with this really like icy, it's like a pearl shade. It's so pretty. And I'm going to do the same as I did with this blue and just kind of add it to the inner corner. Just slowly swipe that white icy pearl-ish color in there. And I am going to bring it into the blue shimmer just a little bit. Okay guys, so now in the Morphe 35V palette, I am going to take this navy dark blue right here, and we're going to go back and work on this tail end, and we're really going to deepen it and kind of help blend that shimmer in with it. So, now that you can see, I don't have a zoom, y'all. I'm going to try to pull up. So you can see like there's just like a line where the matte shadow stop and the royal blue shimmer starts. So I want to start right there where that line is. Always look down when you're blending and then just slowly tap and drag out. That's what I do. I tap and drag out. Alright, now I'm going to go back in with that brush that I used the black on. I'm going to go back in with my black, blow off this time, and just really slowly tap in. Like I said, you have to be so gentle with the dark colors. Like, you really have to be. Because mistakes can happen. Just like there, like I just kind of put a little bit too much black and now it looks black. So come back in with that royal blue color and then you do that, right? So I told you the most important step is the transition shade. This is the second most important step. once I kind of got like the base like of what my eyeshadow is gonna really look like, I have all my colors down, all that. Now it's time to really blend and make it seamless. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with those two brown colors that I had at the top. I always do this. I go back in with my brown colors and I kind of go over the edge of where my shadows are and where my transition is. This helps make it like very seamless, and it really helps kill like the harsh lines. So like I said previously, I always do my shimmers with a wet brush, but once they kind of dry down on my lid, I take a brush that has no product on it. It's just a clean, small blending brush, and I am going to just kind of blend those two shimmers together to really eliminate the harsh line between the two. I want them to kind of like melt into each other. You see how you can't see where the white shimmer ends and the blue shimmer starts? You just know that it's like an ombre effect versus this side where it's just like the white stops right there, the blue starts right there. You don't want that. So you take a clean blending brush and you just melt the two colors together. Okay, once I'm done melting those two shimmers together, I take a kind of the same blending brush that, I take the same blending brush that I did my brown shades with in my transition shade. I kind of use my color switcher. This kind of gets majority of the product off the brush. I do that, and then I just go over everything and just blend them all together, all the edges together, and just make sure that the shadow is seamless. So the final thing I like to do is give myself a little brow highlight. I am going to be using Laura Geller's Gilded Honey because that's the highlight that I used on my cheeks today. And I really like to get a definer brush right here because I don't want it to be too like go down too far. So I just like to add that brow highlight, not too much. Literally pretend like you're doing eyeliner or you are drawing your brows, because you want very small lines, and like right where you see that little gap right there, that little light part of your brow, I add a little, a little Gilded Honey right there. Make that brow bone pop. Alright guys, so now I'm going to go put some liner and lashes on, and then I will be back with the final look. Okay guys, so this is the final look. Yes, the lashes did set it off. And yes, I did add a gloss because like Tab say, that's my business. Alright. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned some new things. You learned some tips and tricks. By no means is this like the standard, but it's just what I do. So hopefully you learned something. If not, then tell me. Or like if you got some tips and tricks that I should try, you should tell me that too. Like communicate with me. Let's be friends. But as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on my videos and my channel. And you already know, make sure you stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. And I will see you guys in my next video.